Okay, today we're making a stew, and it's just going to be a real basic beef stew. Optional red wine. I cubed up some steak, whatever was on sale. You don't have to use an expensive cut with this because it's going to cook all day and get tender. So a little salt and pepper on it to flavor the meat, and then doused it in some flour. I've got a pan with some olive oil and a little butter going, and once you're done searing the meat, you kind of it's gonna look lumpy, but just sear out the outside of the meat to lock in the juices and flavors. Additional things to get ready: white onion or brown onion, whatever. Potatoes. I have some of these little fingerlings left over, so I'm going to use these as well as some russets. And then I have a bag of baby carrots because I'm too lazy to cut and peel carrots, and I don't have anything out of the garden right now. So go ahead and get your meat seared off, and then we're going to chop up the vegetables, and I will be back in a few minutes. When I was flouring, so we're just going to add that in. You're going to cook this down for a little while because we want to cook out the taste of the flour. When you put flour into a pan like this, it tastes just floury, and so you want to get that flavor out. So you can see that those brown bits have come up off the bottom of the pan. And we have this nice roux right here of wine, butter, meat, juices, and chunks. And we're going to cook that flour taste out, and then we're going to add some water to make a gravy. And then we're going to add in our onions, carrots, potatoes, and meat. It's going to get covered, and in this case I'm cooking it in the oven all day at 200 degrees. But you can take all of this and throw it into a crock pot and just cook it in the crock pot all day. You don't have to, if you don't have a Dutch oven, you don't have to do it this way. You can just do it in a regular pan, throw it in the crock pot, and let it go. The rule when you're making a gravy is that if you are working with a hot roux in your pan, then you work with cold water. So this is just some cold water, and I'm going to use a whisk to just finish getting some of those brown bits up. Incorporate all of this. I'll have my gravy. Everything goes back into the pan, and it cooks all day. I also add a bay leaf at the end of this, and when you add your vegetables in, don't forget to season them. Everything needs to be seasoned as you work with it. Not heavily, but a little salt and a little pepper, because everything goes in plain, so you want to make sure you're adding that flavor in. As you can see, I left the gravy a little bit thin. It's not, you know, like a thick gravy that you see at a restaurant or that you put on a turkey dinner, because there's still flour and stuff on the meat. And so I want the meat to thicken that up. So we're going to put that in. We've got potatoes and onions cut. We've got our carrots. I put a couple of bay leaves into the gravy. We're going to get everything into the pot and stir it up. Okay, there it is. We've added an extra pinch of salt, a little bit of pepper, just to make sure it's nice and seasoned. Very basic. Again, I'm going to cover it and throw it into the oven for the day. Okay, we have been cooking for about 6 hours, and for the last half an hour or so I took the top off just to kind of let it get a little thick, because the lid will cause the condensation to kind of convect inside the pot. So that's what it ends up looking like. Enjoy!